Hello everyone, welcome to JCL series part 6. In this video, we are going to look into the DD statement in detail. So before getting into this video, those who haven't subscribed my channel, please subscribe. And for corporate trainings, you can reach me through Facebook, WhatsApp and through email. So what is DD statement? So DD stands for data definition. Data definition statement or DD statement is used to specify the input and output datasets to the program. So what a program does? Program takes an input data, processes it and outputs the data. So the data processed may be created during job step, or the data may be present already, or it may be modified during a job step, or it may be shared between multiple users and jobs. So in short, data definition or DD statement is used to specify the input dataset and output datasets to the program which is executing. So DD statement. So upon successful execution of a job, the data can be deleted, or it may be kept for future reference, or it may be cataloged. So what is a catalog? Making a entry in the system catalog. We will be retaining the dataset as well as we will be making an entry in the system catalog. And passing is nothing but sending a data to the subsequent job step. And uncataloguing, without deleting we can uncatalog the data also. We can just remove the catalog entry from the system catalogs. Upon unsuccessful execution of a job, the data can be deleted, the data can be kept, the data can be catalogued, the data can be uncatalogued, but it cannot be passed to the subsequent job step. Upon unsuccessful execution of a job, the data cannot be passed to the subsequent step. Apart from that, all the above steps, like the data set can be deleted, or it can be kept, or it can be catalogued, or it can be uncatalogued. So that is the difference between successful execution and unsuccessful execution, what we can do with the data set. Next is the rules for coding the DD statement. So the DD statement must immediately follow the EXEC statement. So first comes the job statement, next comes the EXEC statement, and after that comes the DD statement. So valid name must be used for each data set used. So we should give a meaningful name for each and every data set that we are using it. That will be very much helpful in referring the data set. Then positional parameter must be coded in the operands field. So it like EXEC statement and like the job statement, the DD statement is also having positional parameter as well as keyword parameters. So the positional parameters must be coded in the operands field. So the examples for positional parameters are data, data dummy and dynam. So these are the examples for positional parameters, and next is the keyword parameter. So if both are coded, the keyword parameter must follow the positional parameters. So both keyword and positional parameter can be coded in the operands field, but when both are coded, the keyword parameter must follow the positional parameter. So these are few examples of keyword parameters: DSN, disp, unit, space, DCB and volume. So these are few examples. We have a lot more to discuss. In the subsequent chapters, we will be discussing the other parameters also, other keyword parameters also. So DD statement. So this is how a DD statement will look like. It will start with / in column 1 and 2, and followed by that is the DD name, which will start at column 3. So here / new file is the DD name, which starts at column 3. N starts at column 3, and followed by that we should have the DD statement in the operation field area. Here we have DD statement, and in the operand part we should have either positional or keyword parameters. So here we have keyword parameters here. DSN, disk space, DCB, unit volumes. So these are keyword parameters which are coded. And comments, we can specify comments. So this is how we this is how a DD statement will look like. It will start with slash slash DD name, and DD will be present in operation field, and in operand field it will have positional or keyword parameters. So DD name. So DD name in this example shown below, C file is the DD name. Create file. For that I have specified as C file, and DD name identifies the name of the data definition statement. So this mate kn.ps file.ps1, it can be identified using the DD name. C file is the DD name, so this can be identified using this DD name. So it can be of 8 characters in length, and it can be a combination of alphabetic, numeric or national characters. So it can be a combination of these things, alphanumeric and alphanumeric national. So these three are called national characters, at, dollar and hash. So these are some of the reserved DD names which are used for specific purpose. So joblib is for mentioning the job library, and for step for exec statement, step library is specified, and for output, sysout is for output, and sysin for specifying the input. Like that, these are various reserved DD names which can be used for specific purpose only. And the next is the DSN parameter. So DSN stands for dataset name. It can be represented as a DSN, or it can be represented as a DS name in our JCLs. So it is used to specify the dataset name. So DSN parameter is a keyword parameter on the DD statement. It is used to specify the name of the dataset to the operating system. So here you can see DSN equal to made kn.psfile.ps1, which is to be created new. So we are specifying to the operating system through this keyword DSN equal to made kn.psfile.ps1. So DSN stands for dataset name. Through that we will specify the dataset name. So DSN equal to dataset name is the syntax. So how we should name the datasets? So there comes qualified dataset name. So qualified dataset name means, so first this is called as DSN equal to made kn dot mfdaddy dot cobol. So made kn is called as first qualifier, mfdaddy is called as second qualifier, and cobol is called as third qualifier. So this is a qualified dataset name, which is having 3 names in it in my example. So first qualifier may be your project name, and second qualifier may be your group, maybe your group or specific department, like billing or logistics or any subgroup group. So this is made kn is one group, and mfdaddy is one group. Within that, cobol is another group, subgroup. So like that, in any project your dataset names may vary, and first qualifier may be your id, first qualifier may be your id or project id, that will be specified. So these are various examples which I am using for my dataset creations to teach you. And this is one real-time example, Macy's log.logistics.dispatch. So logistics is one department and dispatch is one department. So Macy's log.logistics.billing. So this is a departmental store in US, and this is a project name, and this is a subgroup name, dispatch team, and this is billing team. So naming conventions may be like this, and this is first qualifier, this is second qualifier, and this is third qualifier, and the qualifier length can be up to 44 characters long, which includes periods also. So this is called as period. Dot is called as period, and the total length you can give for creating a data set is of 44 characters. You cannot exceed 44 characters. If you try to exceed 44 characters, it will throw out error. And the next one is the temporary data set. So temporary data sets are the data sets which are used during the lifetime of a job. After the lifetime of a job is over, those data sets will be deleted automatically. It will be created, and if you put dsn equal to ampersand ampersand any user defined name here, it is a temporary data set. dsn equal to double ampersand and user defined name here, it will be created as a temp data set, and that data set will be used within the job or within the program which is executing, and once the execution is over, its lifetime is over. After that, it will not be cataloged, or it will not be kept in the system. So next is the disp parameter. So once the data set is created, or once the data set is used or processed, what is to be done with that data set? So that is decided by the disp parameter. Disp equal to status comma normal disposition comma abnormal disposition. So this we will look in detail. So status, if we put a status equal to new here, that it indicates to the operating system that the data set is to be created newly. If you put a old in the status field, it specifies the operating system that the data set is already existing, and we can take exclusive access of that data set. So when we will take exclusive access, whenever we need to do an update, at the time we will go for old, or whenever we need to access, we need to hold a data without being modified by the other users, we will go for this old status. So it will give exclusive access to that data set. And this is share. Shareable mode, we will go for shareable mode whenever the data set can be accessed by multiple users at the same time without any issues. So we can go for share data set. And mod, whenever there is a need for appending data to an existing data set without deleting to the content that is already present, we can go for mod status. And disposition, normal disposition and abnormal disposition. So what is to be done upon the normal execution of a job? When the job is running and when it is completing fine, what we have to do with the data set is called as normal disposition. And when the job terminates abnormally, what we have to do with the data set that we have taken in our JCL, that we have used in our JCL. So normal disposition, we can delete the data set, or we can catalog the data set, or we can uncatalog the data set. We can keep the data set, or we can pass the data set. So delete, so we have created a data set and we have used a data set, and there is no necessity to store it. We can go for delete in normal disposition. And catalog, to retain the data set and to make an entry in the system, we can use this catalog. Uncatalog, to retain the data set, but if we don't want to make a system entry, we can specify as uncatalog. And to keep the data set after use, we'll have this keep in normal disposition. And pass, if we want to pass the data set data to subsequent job steps, we will be using pass in the normal disposition field. So when we specify pass in the normal disposition field, the data will be passed to the subsequent job steps. And in abnormal disposition, what we can do with the data sets? We can delete the data set. We can catalog the data set. Why we need to catalog? We can find out why, whenever it is taking a data and whenever it is processing it, there may be a junk character, or there may be a bad record or bad data in the data set. So we can find out if we catalog it without deleting it. And uncatalog, we can uncatalog it also without deleting it. We can uncatalog the data set also. as well as we can keep the data set also. So these are about what we can do with the data sets upon normal execution, or if the job terminates abnormally, what we can do with the data sets. So disp defaults, what are the default values that it will take for the disp. So status field, if we are leaving it as blank, it will always default to new. And a normal disposition field, it will always defaults to delete if the dataset access is new. If you are not specifying in the normal disposition field, if you are not specifying any value here, and if the dataset is created new, by default it will take delete for normal disposition. And for normal disposition field, defaults to keep if the dataset access is old. So if the status is having old field, and if you are not coding anything for normal disposition field, it will take as keep, it will take by default keep. So old data sets will be retained, or it will be kept as such. And abnormal disposition field defaults to the same value as normal disposition field. So whatever, like if it is new, so same by default it will take delete for normal disposition, and for abnormal disposition also it will take delete only. And for if in case of old data set, it will be it will take keep as default value for normal disposition field, as well as for abnormal disposition also it will take keep only as the default value. So here is an example for a disp parameter. So in this example I am creating a dataset using the IEFBR14 utility. So this is also called a dummy utility, or a do nothing utility, which we will discuss in our JCL series. So here this is the dd statement, dd1 dd made kn dot file1 dot ps1. So this is the name of our data set, and disposition we are coding it as new catalog comma delete. So file is to be created newly, and upon successful execution of job, catalog the data set, and upon unsuccessful execution of the job, delete it. And here is the unit space volume serial and data control block. So these things which we will discuss in our later topics. So these are some other keyword parameters which will be used in the dd statement. And here is another example for creating another file, made kn.file2.ps2 using the, here we have specified a dataset name dsn equal to, in that we have specified the file name, and in the disp we have mentioned as new comma catalog comma delete, which will create a new file. So this is the just system messages allocation messages I am showing to you. Here alloc for made kn step 01, made kn step 01 was executed, condition is 00. So made kn dot file2 dot ps2. So this example I have shown the system message for this example. So here made kn.file2.ps2 is cataloged, it is created and it is cataloged, that is an entry is made in the system catalogs. So this is how allocation messages will be present in the just system messages. And this is an example for deleting an already existing data set. Here made kn.file3.ps3 is a data set which is already existing one, and I'm mentioning is as it has disp equal to old comma delete. So it will delete this made kn.file3.ps3 file, that is the data set. So old indicates the operating system that this data set is already present, and delete in normal termination delete, and for abnormal termination also I have coded as delete. So it will delete this data set. So you can see here made kn.file3.ps3 is uncatalogued, here it is deleted. it is deleted. So you can see here it is very clear that this file is first it will uncatalog any file which is to be deleted will be uncatalogued and it is deleted. Old delete, we have coded as old delete and it has deleted this particular data set. So most frequently used disk parameters are new catalog delete. File is to be created newly, catalog it during normal termination and delete it during abnormal termination of the job. Mod delete. So usually for clearing out data sets we'll be coding this in proc level, mod delete, and followed by this uh, we'll again code a new catalog delete to create the same data sets, and disk equal to old delete. For taking exclusive access and to delete the data set we will go for old delete, and old keep to read or update a file we'll take this old keep will make an exclusive access to the dataset, will process it and will keep it. Either it may terminate normally or it may terminate abnormally, we'll keep the datasets. Disk equal to shareable. So to use a dataset in a shared mode we'll go for disk equal to share, and to use the dataset in exclusive access we'll go for old, and to pass on the dataset we'll go for disk equal to pass. So it will make the dataset to be passed to the subsequent job steps. So thanks for watching this JCL training series on DD statement, and those who haven't subscribed my channel please subscribe, and please give a thumbs up to my video if you like it, and it will really motivate me. And for corporate trainings you can reach me through any of these mediums, email, WhatsApp or Facebook. So thanks for watching this video. Thank you.